Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. Anthony C. hosting. Welcome and welcome to the broadcast. Today is another day we focus on Liberia as we broadcast from our headquarters, Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. Hit the share button. If you are in the United States, in any other country other than Liberia, this show is about you. This edition of Focus on Liberia is about you because some of you have gotten another citizenship. We are here to talk about dual citizenship. It is a hot button topic. We are connected to one country called Liberia. Many of us left, and a good number of us acquired citizenship in other countries. And our laws are there telling us, hey, because you did what you did, you may not be that Liberian you really would love to be as long as you live. And this has been a contentious issue. But there is one man who has been on a mission along with his institution and along with other institutions as well, organizations that have been saying this one thing, that once a Liberian is always a Liberian. And so we are here to talk about dual citizenship. And there has been some good news. Some people say that's good news. The Ministry of Justice has issued a directive to the Minister of Foreign Affairs that, hey, give Liberians passport, even if they obtain another citizenship in any other country. Continue to do that until the law or the court can say that person is not a Liberian. Some people think that is dual citizenship. In fact, in the words of Councillor Jewel, this is dual citizenship big time. That lawyer talking of. But there is an advocate here who, like I said earlier, has been on this road to maintain the saying that once a Liberian is always a Liberian. Let us welcome Mr. Emmanuel Wettee, chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. His Eminence, as we always say, you are most welcome.
Thank you, my brother and friend. It's always good to be on your platform. I feel at home. This platform has provided a lot of opportunities to spread the good news about dual citizenship. So I feel at home. Thank you very much.
It's always good to have you. And folks, again, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Please help us by sharing the show so that as many Liberians, especially those of us in the diaspora, to listen to this update on the dual citizenship that we have ever wanted, because that will make us to remain Liberians, the Liberians we want to remain. Our guest again is Mr. Emmanuel Wettee. We call him the Eminent. He is the chairman for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Again, Chairman Emmanuel Wettee, you are most welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks to our brothers and sisters, our friends, our relatives, our champions, our sponsors, and advocates for dual citizenship, and Liberians in the diaspora, friends of Liberia, welcome, and we appreciate you sharing your evening with us. Thank you very much. No matter what, to some people it's in the evening, in Australia or somewhere it's in the morning. Well, I mean, what day of you have? We want to say thank you and welcome, and we appreciate your support for dual citizenship. Thank you very much.
So, talking about update, which is our topic on dual citizenship for diaspora Liberians, let us give you a little update. But Mr. Emmanuel Wettee is going to be answering all the questions. But we will start with who he is. So let's give you a little update here. Members of the Liberian House of Representatives on Thursday, November 11, passed into law an act to amend the country's alien and nationality law. According to the crafter of the bill, the current law as it exists is repugnant to and is inconsistent with Article 11B and C, Article 27 and 28 relating to equal protection under the law and citizenship. And so That particular bill in question is also being backed by the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship, with Mr. Emmanuel Wettee having to be a chairman. Mr. Wettee will get to it, but when you are a lead campaigner, sometimes it's important for people to know you. Who is Chairman Emmanuel Sonimbo Wettee?
Well, in a nutshell, Emmanuel Sonimbo Wettee is the 23rd president of the Union of Liberian Association in America.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I'm a proud graduate of the Booker Washington Institute.
Mm-hmm.
In 1991, I left the University of Liberia as a senior student to come to the States. And, traditionally, I'm from Sando County. I'm a Southeasterner, which I'm very proud of. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I'm a member of Liberian Columbus Incorporated LLC, and once upon a time, president of that organization, and Secretary General of FOLAO. I have many names, and because I'm in many positions, my thing is right now I'm the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. This conference comprises of partners: the Union of Liberian Association in America, Liberians in Canada, Liberians in Europe, Liberians in Australia, Liberians in Ghana, and Liberians in Southwest America, the Texas area. And in 2012, we met and we formed this group, the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. We also have the Liberian Advocate for Change. This is another group that is very, very powerful and been very, very helpful. We have that group as part of our collaboration. In 2012, we met, and our prime focus is only to advocate for dual citizenship. That's all we do. Since 2012. That's all we've been talking about.
Since 2012. Thank you so very much for that very significant information. And let's do this. Sonimbo is the name also. While we in the media, especially are focused on Liberia, we're not in the business of commending people. So when we do so, we take it very seriously. What we've seen with you and your institution, but you in particular, is this level of consistency with your advocacy. So you and your institution picked this issue that you got to know is very important to diaspora Liberians, especially those who pick up citizenship. Since 2012, like you said, and you have been on it. There have been a lot of blockades along the way, and you have not stopped. So I'm asking this question just to motivate others out there, because some people get discouraged when they don't get their way on the first attempt, the second attempt. What kept Selling Ball going with all the challenges along the way? Tell us, what is that? Is this something in your DNA that we don't know about?
No, what actually happened is that there are a lot of platforms that are available for the development of Liberia.
Okay.
Some people believe in sports. Some people believe in religious things. Some people believe in music. And everybody got their own way. They believe what they think will make Liberia to reach the promised land.
Okay.
We believe that the success of Liberia depends on those that have the resources, that have traveled, and have the mind to go back home. That's what we believe. We believe that the middle class is out of the country. And if diaspora Liberia return home, they can build that middle class, and there'll be a lot of development in Liberia, in education, in health. Look at how many of our people away that are medical doctors or in the medical field, in engineering field. We believe very strongly that if these people return home, our country will develop. Why do we say that? Is that they already have the skills. Liberia is a birthplace. They believe in the country. But however, the law in our country on citizenship does not favor them. So we believe that if that law is removed, they can return home, the home of their parents, to help develop. That's what we believe.
Yeah, but Mr. Wettee, let me come in. What you said is equally true, right? But what is also true is that we have foreigners in Liberia. They are not Liberians. They are there. They are doing businesses. They are succeeding. So how can just being a Liberian and returning home is a silver bullet to our development? I don't think that is like a silver bullet.
Well, it's good you ask the question. Liberia is a very interesting place.
Okay.
Our laws in Liberia favor foreigners than natural born Liberians who have dual citizenship.
How?
That's the law in Liberia. That's how it is. Let's take for example. I well, but I would try the guy from the Nigerian guy who was involved.
You mean Councillor Wambodike?
Yeah, Modiki.
Yes, Austin Dubusi Wambodike.
Yes, he's a Nigerian born, naturalized Liberian. He can hold that position, but it's small who are in Lofa, went to school, traveled to America, and became an American citizen cannot hold the same position of him. That's the law.
Okay. And so,
I mean, if
go ahead and your thought there.
Go ahead, sir. No,
yeah. So I was about to ask you, it's eminent. So when what is more like a blockade is taken away, that will encourage more Liberians to go home, because what we know, Liberians are going home anyway. Many of the Liberians are building their homes. Some of them have businesses. So what different would this Liberian citizenship do for the Liberian who acquire another citizenship for which they might have at all costs?
This is what happened though. This question has been asked since we've been in the city. Look, while you guys are making all the noise, nobody bother you. Nobody go in there. You go to Liberia, you can build your house, you can do this, you can do that. It's okay.
Okay.
But silence doesn't mean that the law does not exist. What if tomorrow someone decides to implement the law? What are you going to say? Because the laws in Liberia are very clear. Only a Liberian can own a land. That's the law.
Okay.
Only a Liberian. So if you're not a Liberian, you cannot own a land. However, you can go there and buy the land. It's fine, because we have a friendly administration that will not bother you. But what if tomorrow someone decides to bother you? And that's what we're talking about.
Besides land is eminent, you reference the issue of Austin Dubusi or Wambodike, a Nigerian-born, a naturalized Liberian who had the privilege of becoming just about any person in Liberia, probably except for the presidency, right? So it's said that a Liberian-born who acquired, for example, a U.S. citizen may not be able to hold any of such position. Could that be one of the reasons? Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your reliance on that?
Let look at the Constitution of Liberia. You see, the Constitution of Liberia says natural born Liberians, you are only entitled to 2 positions according to our Constitution.
Okay.
President, vice president. So it means that a Nigerian who naturalized in Liberia can become chief. That's the law.
Okay.
However, a Tapper who was born in Sando and became a U.S. citizen cannot hold that same position, because the law says that when you do that, you renew your Liberian citizenship. But it's okay for a Nigerian to hold that position. It's okay.
But
now,
go ahead. I was just about to say, but the law also, correct me if I'm wrong, is there no other option for that Liberian? My understanding is that if that Liberian who had obtained the U.S. citizenship goes to relinquish that U.S. citizenship or denounce it, that person will equally be as qualified as the Nigerian who got naturalized as a Liberian. Isn't that true?
That's true. But why should it be that way?
Why it shouldn't be that way?
Because if I'm a Liberian, I'm a Liberian. Once on Liberian, always on Liberian. There should be no obstacle to that effect. A Nigerian that is born on Nigeria it is a Nigerian. A Ghanaian. Why is it that a Liberian cannot do the same? You understand? Now, when Liberia was talking about educational institution being a mess, in 2014, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf appointed Dr. Elizabeth Davis. She was the president of Tundma University
at the time.
She went for confirmation hearing in the Liberian Senate in 2014. You can Google that. During her confirmation hearing, they asked a question: do you have an American passport? She said yes. And based on the Alien and Nationality law, her confirmation hearing was terminated immediately, because by the law she now a Liberian, and the Liberian Senate cannot proceed any further. Now, that's a resource there that was let go only because of an American citizenship. But things have changed. So when we come to the update,
right,
we'll talk about the things that have changed.
Exactly.
But let's go ahead.
Exactly. So that was somebody. Somebody might say she was just by lucky, because there are many instances too. You know, I don't know if I can be brave enough here. There have been information that many people have served as presidents, and these people have, for example, U.S. citizenship. Nothing happened. And we know our community is small. We know some people who, despite their U.S. citizenship, went to Liberia, contested for legislative position. They won, and they are serving, you know, and some as president, they contested. The law did not stop them. So she was just by lucky. So what's the big deal with this one person?
The big deal that she was honest.
Okay.
She was honest.
Okay.
At the confirmation hearing, they asked her, "Do you have an American passport?" She said yes. She was honest. That's the difference. Okay. If you have an American passport, or you have an American citizenship, or you have a German citizenship, and you go to the election commission and you check that box that you now Liberian, you will not run. So the difference is that she was very old.
Okay.
So if someone go ahead.
Let's come to the inalienability of the Liberian. And it is from that backdrop you are saying, hey, once a Liberian, it always a Liberian. But then at the same time, we have our Alien and Nationality law that says, hey, but you can lose that Liberian citizenship. You have been following these things, and you've been talking to a lot of legal minds as well, talking about the inalienability of Liberian as, you know, stated in the Constitution. Is that one of your reliance for which you are saying, hey, the Alien Nationality law is like in conflict with the Constitution, because the Constitution says if you are a Liberian, you can't be an alien?
Yeah, it's the Alien and Nationality law is in conflict with the Constitution.
Okay.
Now, our Constitution is very silent to some part. Let me not say totally silent. To some level, because the Constitution says if one of your parents is a Liberian, at the age of maturity, you need to declare your Liberian citizenship, where you want to be with your parent and which parent you want to be with. But the question is this: what if somebody had a child in Japan, or what if somebody had a child on the island somewhere, and at the age of maturity, there's no Liberian consulate, there is nothing around? Are you seeing that child now a Liberian? Is that what you're going to say?
Maybe the parent can take that child to Liberia to declare.
And the child at that time, you know, there's no opportunity for the child to travel to Liberia or have opportunity to go and declare. What we are saying is that even if any percentage of your DNA is Liberian, you are a Liberian. I mean, there should be no question that a lady that have a child in America, because these are the people that are going to rebuild our country. And the interesting thing in Liberia, a woman cannot pass her citizenship over to a child. So if a child is born to a Liberian woman and someone else, during nationality, the woman does not have the right to make that child citizen.
Okay. Thank
That's
you,
why
His Eminence.
Liberia, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, eminent folks in cyberspace. You are watching Focus on Liberia. I'm Anthony here. Hosting my guest is Chairman Emmanuel Wettee, Chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship, and we are discussing updates on dual citizenship for diaspora Liberians. If you are just joining us, we say welcome to the show. Share the show and have many Liberians listening to this update that we have for you here, along with Mr. Emmanuel Wettee. It's eminent. Let's talk about many paths to dual citizenship. You and all have been on this road. There are many paths that you and your institution have identified in the past. List for us those paths, those options that you had in offering Liberians dual citizenship. And then we can come to this update, which is the directive on dual citizenship. What are those paths that you had and what happened?
There are four. There are four paths that we developed in 2012.
Okay.
One is to ask the president to issue an executive order not to implement the Alien and Nationality law. Obama did it, and Trump did it. Law in the Supreme Court, they never wanted to support. They withdrew the government. They said we're not going to support this law, and that was it. You can issue an executive order and you don't support the law. We did that, and the president at the time, President said, she couldn't do it because an executive order get a shorter lifespan. Another president can come and redo it. We said, fine.
So, let's take it one by one. Hold on a minute. Let's take it one by one so that the audience will follow, without any confusion. So, one of the options you had was to ask the president of Liberia, any president for that matter, to have issued an executive order to more like nullify the Alien and Nationality law that provide the options for one losing their Liberian citizenship should that person acquire another citizenship. Now, based on our research here, focus on Liberia, we know that this Alien Nationality law was copied and pasted in Liberia. That's what you were speaking to. In the United States, the U.S. government acted to repeal this. So this information, you had it, and I would think that you have advocated or lobbied the presidents of Liberia because Ellen was there. I'm sure you made that effort. What stopped that from happening? This might be the easier way to getting this done.
Well, we work as a team. And when you put meet in strategy room, those 4 plans we talk about, let me come back. Those are parallel plans.
Okay.
They are parallel. We are doing everything at the same time. Nothing stopping anything. We actually, if we get a little chance, we ask the president for executive order. If the president says no, that's fine. We go to the next one. So these plans are parallel. Nothing, they are not independent of each other. Nothing. They run their own show. Depend on our circumstances, we execute it. So that's one.
So how many presidents you talked to repeal this with executive order? How many presidents, and give me their names? How many presidents you talked to?
We asked President Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, and her response,
and she couldn't do it.
She said that it's just for 1 year, and she didn't want anybody to repeal, her law. That's what she said to us. She said no, she couldn't do it. Yeah, so she didn't. And honestly, we have not attempted asking President we are. So since our team is saying that we shouldn't advance that because we have other options within President we are is very helpful in. It's more permanent than that.
But do you understand that there could be the easier way to do it, right?
Well, that could be an easier way. However, the less spend of that is shorter. You understand? So let's say, President, we are issued an executive order. He leaves office. The next person comes. They can reclaim that as executive order and go back to square one. That's the fear. It's just like, the executive order.
There's no way to make a such executive order permanent. There's no way by law that you ask lawyers.
I'm not aware.
But you have not asked lawyers as to whether there's a way to make any such executive order permanent.
I know I've not done that. Let me not say we have not done that. We have not done that. We have not. Yeah, we have not done it. So we have a team of lawyers. We have not done it to say to make an executive order permanent. No, we have not done it. I not to the best of my knowledge. We have not done it because the fear that if
yeah, complete your thought there, Emmanuel, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the fear here is that if the next president comes, they can reclaim that executive order.
They can undo it.
Go back again. Yeah, they can undo it. Yeah, I mean, Biden did it for Trump in 2020, but when Biden came, he undo many of the executive order that Trump gave. I mean, you get that. You see, as within the territory of the presidency, is within their right. They can do it.
To do it. All right. So what was the second option?
The second option was to go to the Supreme Court and challenge the constitutionality of the alien and nationality law.
Okay.
And that what happened in 2017. Jallo went to apply for a passport, mentioned that he's an American citizen, Liberian born, and based on the alien and nationality law, they rejected him.
Okay.
So the interesting thing is that our constitution is a due process. So it doesn't matter what happened. Everybody is entitled to due process. So Jallo went to the Supreme Court and said, look, wait a minute. What's the due process? He challenged the constitutionality of that law.
Okay.
And to our favor, on the December 23rd, 2019, the Supreme Court ruled in his favor that, look, you cannot deny this person the Liberian citizenship until they go through a due process.
Okay.
So that's the second option. So we got the first victory, which is that we have pretty much knocked down 22.2. And I will not be afraid to tell our public here that our next move is to challenge 22.1. We have everything set. We have everything ready. We're just waiting for the appropriate time and the appropriate signal to move on. So that's one aspect.
Yeah, so the interpretation here of this opinion by the Supreme Court in Jallo's case is that until a code of law grants a Liberian a due process to establish that that Liberian has fulfilled all the requirements to losing a Liberian citizenship, that Liberian remains a Liberian. So the Liberian government that denied Jallo passport was wrong. In essence, they were also saying Jallo remains and stay a Liberian and should be issued a passport because the constitutional process or the legal process has not been certified.
That's correct.
Now go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the court is saying that, look, even if Teresa announces that she's a Liberian and she has a Liberian passport in her hand and say anything, only a court of competent jurisdiction Liberian. Like in the case of Dr. Davis, Elizabeth Davis, she said that at the confirmation hearing she was Liberian. Now, if that law was in place, the Senate was not going to stop the confirmation hearing. Because until a court can make a decision, she's still a Liberian. Now,
So the Liberian Senate, in essence, wrong the professor at the time.
No, I know at the time it was the law.
Okay.
In 2014, it was the law. This one just happened in 2019.
Because that time we didn't have the Supreme Court opinion.
There you go. Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Now, this is another thing that happened in the diaspora, and many of us, including myself, we have our own interpretation of what the Supreme Court said. You know, we Liberians got our own interpretation. Where it's okay until you can prove I'm a Liberian, I can do anything I want to do. Yes, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. You can do anything you want to do until a court of competent jurisdiction can say you are not a Liberian.
All right.
So due process. Now,
go ahead.
I'll give the chance. So due process. What we should understand and know that due process is just an opportunity for you to explain yourself. So that take for example, you have a government that don't like you. I'm not saying this government. I just say a government that don't like you. You go to Liberia, and someone say you are this person and that person. Now, right now in Liberia, when you enter Liberia, guess what happened? They scan your passport, they take your picture, just like in America, because that's the international standard. So you entering the country with an American passport, your German passport, Australian passport, they're all recorded. They take your picture and everything. So if someone doesn't like you, they go to court. And if they have a friendly judge with them, all the judge have to do, because that due process, right?
Right.
The judge have to say, look, let's go to RIA. That ask the immigration for RIA. How did you enter the country? And since it's due process, you can say that this is the person's picture and this is a copy of the passport. They come out to the embassy or where you got the visa and ask the ambassador, did you issue this person a visa? They say yes. So with these two information, the judge can say, look, you know what I mean? You are now a Liberian. Because that due process right there, you are being provided a due process. But most of our people do not see the possibility of that happening. And that's the danger in our advocacy.
All right. Thank you so very much. His eminent. So we will come back to the directive of the Ministry of Justice based on the Supreme Court opinion in Jallo case. I want us to exhaust the two other options, one of which I would think is referendum. So please elaborate on the two other options that you had and be as brief as possible, because this one, the directives is a crumbs of the discussion for today. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the other option that we have is to go to the lawmakers, which we're already doing, or to repeal the alien and nationality law. We want to say thanks to members of the House on November 11th. They were able to pass a bill on the able leadership of Akaras Gray and Deputy Speaker Fanati Kofa and 30 members of the House. They gathered themselves together and they passed a petition, and the other colleagues supported it. So the House passed a bill repealing the alien and nationality law. The Senate ought to elaborate Senate.
Please tell us which section specifically.
Oh, thank you. Section 22.1, 22.2, and 22.3. Those are sections, that were recommended to be repealed. That have been sent over to the Liberian Senate, and right now, as we speak, is in the committee room in the judiciary of the Liberian Senate. And at the appropriate time, the Liberian Senate will decide to deliberate on it, to discuss it, to either concur with the House or give their own version and they send it back to the House for conference and all those things. But we want to say thanks. We want to be thankful to Representative Akaras Gray and Fanati Kofa and all the members of the House, including the Speaker, for that move. So that's where we are right now on the repeating the alien nationality law. The next thing that we have is referendum.
Okay.
The referendum is to change Article 28 and 27 and 28 of the Constitution. And you can say it's constitutional matter, it can only be done through a referendum. So that's the
And
full path.
and we have had two referenda of recent, and there was no success.
Yeah, we had one, which was last year, this time. And
I said
we
of
are
recent.
planning.
My understanding was there was one in 2011. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I don't think we had dual. Or I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing dual citizenship on that referendum. I'm not sure. I don't want to say.
So you are sure of the one of 2020?
Yeah, because I was involved. That's why I'm sure, because I was there and I live it and I saw it.
This is what happened. And correct me if I'm wrong here. I think you got a little political. When that referendum failed, you were not happy at all with the opposition community. In fact, you blame them for being responsible for the failure of the referendum. Do you still feel that way, His Eminence?
As you go along, the only thing I was disappointed is that the referendum, the proposition was developed by the lawmakers. They signed onto it. They put their signature onto it. They agreed to campaign for it. But then when the action started, they all turned away from their own signature and went against it. Whether they have political reason or they had their own reasons, and if we begin to go into that, we'll waste the people's time. So
we will not go much into that. We will not go much into that.
Yeah, so we all learned, and some of them we met them privately. They told us their reason. We met them private, and they told us, and we said, okay, that's fine. But one thing we believe, you asked me a question. Why keep us going? Let me just tell the public. Advocacy is not an event, it's a process. And that's what keep us going. We do this one.
We'll not go too much into the referendum thing too much, because we want to stick to the update. Update meaning the directed that Liberians should be given Liberian passport when they apply for it until there's a due process saying that they are no longer a Liberian. And then the other update is that there is a bill that has passed United States in the House of Representatives, Senators, and is at the Senate to repeal the section of the alien nationality law that takes away one's Liberian citizenship when they acquire another citizenship. We will come back to those ones, but let me ask another question on the referendum, which is that you and your institution, the All Liberian Conference of Dual Citizenship, where many Liberians with knowledge on referendum said that, hey, there's no much time and there's so much race now to be pushing referendum at the same time when these lawmakers are running for re-election, or some of them running for election for the first time, because you will be relying on these people instead of them telling our people, hey, we have a referendum here trying to achieve certain things in the Constitution. They'll be talking about themselves. You saw that race. You, Wettee, as chairman of All Liberian on Dual Citizenship, say, let's go for it. So you knew the race and you went for it, and then it came straight to your face.
Well, I believe in the democratic process. I believe that the people should make the decision. I believe very strongly. If I say let me make it very clear that it's just the language I'm speaking. I mean I mean we. That's why I want to say.
No, use the we. You've been in leadership for long, so don't make that mistake. I would not accept that explanation.
Okay, so we believe very strongly that the decision should be made by Liberian people. Very strongly. So we said, and let the people decide. Let the will of the people prevail. There are a lot of people say, oh no, it's political, it's this and that. That's true.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Dangerous if you deny the right to vote.
All right. Thank you very much. So let's come to the main update. After giving our people, the little history, the path to where we are today, let us come to where we are. Where we are now, like I said earlier, there is a directive or an order, which is legal because it came from the Justice Ministry. Musa Dean is telling the minister responsible for issuing all passports, say, look, if any Liberian shows up at the passport division and apply for passport, give that Liberian that passport they apply for. The only way you can deny any Liberian a passport if when there's a court decision against that person, that person is no longer a Liberian. Whether you see the person with U.S. passport in their hand, or even they themselves telling you I'm a U.S. citizen, that is not a legal reason to deny a Liberian passport. So here is the directive. We will put it up there and read it for our audience, and then we will bring you in. It reads, Dear Honorable Kamaya, we present compliments and have the honor to inform you that the Supreme Court of Liberia, pursuant to a ruling and judgment delivered on December 23, 2019, declares Section 22.1 and Section 22.2 of the Alien Nationality Law, Title 4 of the Liberian Code of Law Revised, approved May 15, 1973, and published unconstitutional to the extent that it does not provide for due process before the forfeiture of Liberian citizenship. You will please note that Section 22.1 and 22.2 cited above apply to Liberian citizens by birth who obtain naturalization in a foreign country. Henceforth, Liberian citizens who undertake any one or other of the acts described in Section 22.1 do not, in so facto, lose Liberian citizenship without the institution of a proceeding to nullify or cancel such citizenship. The automatic forfeiture of Liberian citizenship without resort to any judicial proceeding to nullify or cancel them is declared unconstitutional, void, and null. Please ensure that the implementers of the revised regulation to govern the administration and issuance of Liberian passport take due note. Then that is the letter from the Minister of Justice to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, that you have to give our people a visa. Nothing should stop you. So let me compliment all that. You will come in. So is Councillor Jewa, a man who has been practicing law for 30 years, right to say this is dual citizenship big time?
Well, maybe he could be making an emotional statement, but the legal thing that we do know, even from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and everybody, what is saying here is this. The Supreme Court said, look, this person is a Liberian until a court of competent jurisdiction can say they are not a Liberian.
Okay.
So the Justice Minister is saying that, well, good. If Mr. A, or you can say Smoke, Collie, Jackson, Teresa, whosoever, that person is entitled to a Liberian passport until somebody, a court of competent, that's the key. The key is not just anybody from anywhere. Even if you yourself say you have an American passport, it's not even sufficient. Until a court of
it's not sufficient.
Yeah, it's not sufficient to say we declare you now a Liberian. Only a court of competent jurisdiction. So the Justice Minister is saying that, well, until that can happen, get that person a passport. They are entitled to a Liberian passport. Let us remember, it's the same passport issue that brought all these things in 2017. So until you can prove that I'm not a Liberian, until a court can say I'm not a Liberian, I'm entitled to everything as a Liberian.
And the Minister of Justice, Musa Dean, along with the ministry, reliance, like they quoted in this particular directive of this communication to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is the ruling or opinion handed that by the Supreme Court. And you think that is enough in certifying this quest for dual citizenship for Liberian?
No, it's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough at all. And that's
why is not enough?
It didn't resolve the issue of dual citizenship. It just said that get Smoke due process.
Okay.
And until Smoke, until a court can say Smoke is now a Liberian, he's a Liberian. What if the court proved that Smo is an American citizen?
Okay. So now that is why your institution started the effort of lobbying with the lawmakers to have Section 22.1 and 22.2 of the Alien Nationality Law that provides the legal and also remedy for the forfeiture of Liberian citizenship repeal, right?
That's correct. And currently, as go ahead.
Go
Currently,
ahead.
as we're speaking, we have a team on the ground headed by Emmanuel Wettee. We have President Comfort Atoka. We have Reverend Sherman from Ghana. In the last 2 weeks, they have made extreme effort because the Liberian Senate got only 2 more sections. So since the House has passed the bill, our team is on the ground. We got boots on the ground that actually working the flow in the Liberian Senate to make sure that the Senate concur with the House. So our team is on the ground working that out. Look, the issue of the justice minister giving the opportunity of a passport is not a resolution to dual citizenship. Even the chief justice of the Supreme Court even mentioned that. So our team is currently on the ground lobbying the Liberian Senate to have them concur with the House. And let me use the opportunity to say thanks to all of our partners, the Union Liberian Association, AFLA, Colosua, Liberian Advocacy for Change, Liberian in Ghana, and Liberian in Australia, and Liberians in Canada for supporting our team on the ground, for financially, morally, for supporting the team. They have been doing an extremely good job. I want to say we are very proud of Emmanuel, Comfort Atoka, Reverend Shema, and everybody that is on the ground that's actually helping and supporting us. We also want to say thanks to those in the House. I will say it over and over again. Honorable Karis Gray, Fanatic Kofa, and Councillor Archibald Bonal. He doesn't let us call his name, but he being a very good hand in these things. And I want to say thanks to everybody in the Liberian Senate that also support us.
Thank you so very much, folks. Again, Focus on Liberia and Sonny here hosting. My guest is eminent Emmanuel Wettee, chairman of the All Conference, All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Since 2012, they have been advocating to give diaspora Liberians dual citizenship. He sees a light at the end of the tunnel. Folks, to participate on the show, look in the scrolling text below. There is a phone number. That is the number to call. Again, folks, start placing your calls now. We are getting ready to come to you to ask questions, to make your comments. That number is 605-313-6004 and enter the code 791-403#. Look in the scrolling text below. The number is there with the access code. We will appreciate it if you can call, make your comment, and ask your questions. Sonimba.
Yes.
Now, so if you succeed as an institution in getting this bill passed into law, the issue of dual citizenship in Liberia, when the Alien and Nationality Law, the section 22.1 and 22.2, when those 2 sections are repealed, will that mark a complete and satisfactory resolution to the issue of dual citizenship in Liberia?
As my brother, you asked a very great question, and it provides an opportunity to explain.
Okay.
This section of the Alien and Nationality Law will only accommodate natural-born Liberians,
okay,
who obtain citizenship in another country. It will not accommodate our children born here, our children born here, and my children born in the diaspora. That's what I mean. It will not accommodate them. Only the repeal, the amendment of the Constitution will accommodate everybody, irrespective of where you were born.
And once you were born to a Liberian father,
yeah,
and will mother apply to?
Yeah, mother apply. That's what we want to do.
Okay.
Want to apply that. So long you're born to a Liberian parent, there should be no condition There should be no condition at all. In fact, if we have our will, if your grandmother was a Liberian, you're a Liberian. If we have our will, but we reached there yet. But
So when this deal, I mean this law is passed or repealed, like you said, it's only for those Liberians who were born in Liberia. I got that. So do you have plans to start another advocacy that will grant Liberians born outside of Liberia or children born onto Liberians outside of Liberia?
Yes, we do have a plan. We after this campaign of repealing the Indian nationality law, our next step is to lobby the lawmakers to have in 2023 on the referendum to amend Article 27 and 28 of the Constitution.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan that we have.
And earlier, when we started, you said that, look, Liberians outside of Liberia, and some about saying they are the middle class of Liberia. And you said that because many of them Liberians are employed, and some of them have few dollars either in their bank account or 401k and all that. And the understanding is that should these people move back to Liberia with this money, it would be a huge addition to the economy. And you are saying one of the reasons some of these Liberians are hesitant is when they go back to Liberia, they don't have all the rights provided for in the Constitution to Liberians. So resolving the issue will motivate them because they will be able to own land. They can go for any position and do anything, right?
Yes.
My question there is, how will these Liberians capitalize on this opportunity that that you are giving them? I mean, I don't see it, right? That's what I'm asking the question, because the people feel that they are Liberians, so whether or not you grant them this citizenship, they will still behave the same way they have been behaving. Don't you think so?
That's correct. You see, what you feel is not the law. What you think is not the law. The law is the law. And if someone does not like you, they can apply the law on you. That's why we try to prevent that. If we are not around, our children, our great-grandchildren can walk in Liberia and say, look, I'm a Liberian. This is my country of birth. I mean, this country of birth of my parents. I'm a Liberian. So we want to prepare an environment that after we have left this land, our children and children can go back home. And this issue of citizenship, you got to look behind you, you got to look behind you, you got to look around. We don't want that to happen to our children. So, and we wanted to go home and develop the country. It belongs to them.
So are there benefits to the country when we shall have gained this dual citizenship? Are there benefits to Liberians who will be impacted or benefiting from this dual citizen? I mean, I'm just curious. How does it in any way help the country?
It helps in many ways. Let's take, for example, if you have 5 Liberians returning home, building skyscraper or estate or more, the people that are going to be employed are not coming from India. They will be employing the ordinary Liberian, the technicians, the workers are all Liberians, and that will give money to them to support their family.
So, are you saying without Liberian citizenship, they can't do these things? Foreigners are not Liberians; they are doing them anyway.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that the pay of which they will do it, the security will be higher. That's what I'm saying. You know, we all are speculating. We all are saying that this is what we believe that will help the development of the country. We see it in Ghana. We see it in Nigeria. Look at Sierra Leone. We all fought the war. Sierra Leone is ahead of us. What sense does it make for a diaspora Ghanaian to go home, have a clinic, and we go to that clinic in Ghana? Why can't we do the same for our people to come home? Give them opportunities.
So, His Eminence, I'm not thinking that, this issue here, it's not merely about dual citizenship. It's more about us as a people and some of our how we see our country, or just making that decision. I'm returning home. I'm going to do this. I don't think anybody in Liberia is stopping any Liberian for doing whatever they want to do, irrespective of question that might be to their Liberian citizenship.
You are right. I said it. I said it. Nobody asking you. But what if someone decide to ask you?
Okay.
What if you are in the middle of a major project, a major investment, and somebody come and say, "Look, who are you? You are not a Liberian."
Okay.
And that's the fear.
Okay.
But the other question I want to ask: why can't we just erase all of those fears? Why can't we say once a Liberian, always a Liberian? You can come home and participate. There will be no legal attachment to your citizenship. That's what we're trying to avoid. That legal aspect, we want it out. Let once a Liberian, always a Liberian.
All right. It seems to be we are getting some colors here. And before I go to the colors, let me ask my final question here. From the time I've been following the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship, and please correct me here, I don't have all the facts in my brain. You have been a chairman. And so is this thing like a lifetime chairmanship position? That's one question. And you also said that you have your team on the ground. Mr. Cooney is there, but Mr. Cooney posted just recently that the reason he's in Liberia is to visit his family. He didn't mention about, being there to do some work for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. That's one aspect of it. And people are accusing, it's Wettee all the time. When you go, you reporting, you even doing the flyer. Focus on Liberia can do flyer. So is this a one-man show? That's what we're hearing. We hear a lot of things we were in the media.
That's very good. That's very good. It provided opportunity for me to explain the whole structure of the All Liberian Conference.
Please do, so we can go to the
let
call.
people really understand. If I don't say anything, I want you to take this.
Okay.
I, eminent Emmanuel, son-in-law Wettee, does not make any decision on the citizenship. If we're in meeting, I don't. I execute decisions.
Okay.
I have never voted. I've never made any decision. I'm not in the rank and file of those. So the All Liberian Conference comprises of partners. You have the Union of Liberian Association in America. You have the European Federation, IFLA. You have Liberian in United Liberian Association of Ghana. You have Liberian in Australia. You have Liberians in Canada. And you have Colossal Southwest. These partners, the head of the president of the organization, constitute the partnership. So when we go, then we have the leadership team. The leadership team, we got Masale, we got all the former UDA president, we got Dr. Tobo. Dr. Tobo has been with us since 2012. She's the only lady. The only time she missed a meeting and said something extremely happy. You also have the Liberian Advocacy for Change that joined the partnership. That are doing extremely well with Madam Atoka and Councillor Bronsky, Dr. Eugene Buffett. They are doing extremely well. So in our meeting, the partners, all the presidents, they make the decision. In the leadership team, that you have all the Kony and every one of us, Dr. Toba, A.B. Masale. Masale is our director of communication. I am just the chairman of that leadership team because we run the day-to-day affair of the organization. So we meet every time we meet is on the Sunday 2:00, and the president or the partners will meet, and I will present the agenda, and they discuss it. We all talk, and they vote on what to be done. And after voting, my team will execute the decisions. You mentioned about Emmanuel Cooney. The beauty of the advocacy is that so long you are part, in fact, Cooney was just complaining today, and everybody that on the team, you can ask Africa, you can ask everybody that part of this team. When you go to Liberia, trust me, we're going to tell about 2 or 3 2 or 3 weeks of your time to advocate for dual citizenship.
Okay.
It's a commitment that we have made.
Mm-hmm.
We have made that commitment. So far, I can go there directly and advocate. Other people can go there in the name of us. So there are a lot of people. The reason why you see my face all the time is that because my skin is thicker.
And that was the question I wanted to ask. We see you more than any other person. Why?
Yeah, but look,
what is it about?
And you ask the question, what keeps me going? These are the people that keep me going.
Okay.
Emmanuel and his team for the last 2 weeks have slept on the Capitol building. You know, I took out. I mean, they are there back to back, foot to foot. In fact, today, the co-chairman from Europe is going to Liberia. So our team is there. The reason why you see my face all the time is that because I can take the insult. You know me, I ready for Wettee. When you bring Wettee, I bring, you know, we all ready. So
that's what is Wettee? What is Wettee?
We did that fighting that there.
Is that a Southeastern word for fighting?
I read it now.
Okay.
So, yeah, but actually to admit that's what happened. That's how we are.
All right. Yeah. Folks, again, we are about to come to you. Get ready to participate in the call here. You know, we see Mr. Cisse Goyat. Mr. Cisse Goyat, be a little patient. You can come back in. He was on the line, but I think he left to come back. So Mr. Cisse Goyat, please come back, place your call again. And fellow Liberians, it's about time for you to interact with eminent Wettee. So while I wait for your calls, we will take a short break. And when we come back, we will be taking your calls after reading some comments. Stay tuned, folks. Don't go anywhere. Focus on Liberia, where we educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jab.
Thank you so very much, Dennis Jab. Folks, again, the number to call is in the scrolling text below. So while we wait for your call, we will be reading some comments. We have Cecilia Elliott watching from Atlanta, Georgia. And let's hear this Facebook user answering, where is Wettee's bill? Wettee said the bill is now at the Senate. I don't know if that is his bill, but his organization has been pushing this bill. So you can say that too, that his bill, because he put his finger on it. Let's hear from J. Joshua K. Power Sr. Emmanuel S. Wettee is doing well to get us dual citizenship. Mr. Cisse Goyat, he is the educational analyst here at Focus on Liberia. He writes, congratulations and thanks to your service. What restriction, if any, are in the current proposed bill? Eminence, please take notes of these comments so that you know the ones that you would like to respond to. That conference has been very useless in gathering Liberians for the agenda. Few individuals get together, have a name, and claim to be advocating, but shows nothing substantive. That person is fighting back. Let's hear from this writer, that is Jamel. Great topic. I have a question. Are Black Americans still eligible for Liberian citizenship, or is the law amended? Mr. Wettee, that is a very good question. That person must be one of our fellow Africans here in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. The law applies to everyone. The code says your other citizenship must be challenged and proven. That person writes. Let's hear from Jallo, who challenged the law, is currently serving as the counselor for the NEG. That might be true. I read something recently that he was admitted. Let's hear from this writer, that's Blue Socks. I was curious about the same thing. If giving the Liberians a broad dual citizenship will bring development, imagine Black American being allowed to apply for citizenship. I must say, I can't wait for that time. I can't just wait. Let's hear from Flomo, dual citizen dual Liberian citizenship are restricted to take public office, certain property ownership, and free travel without visa. That person might be talking about the referendum restrictions there. Let's hear from Anthony Gay. Not every executive order can just be undone, he writes. That was when I was asking you about whether or not some executive order can be permanent. Jimmy Ismail, only a law will remain permanent, not an executive decree or order. All right, Jimmy is providing some answers to my question there. Anthony again, so why not introduce a legislation for dual citizenship to resolve all of this, Mr. Wettee? Another good question there, His Eminent. Let's read this long one from Asa Saba. Why should Liberians be begging for the rights that they should be entitled to? I think whatever the law being explained here concerning Liberians is a disadvantage to the country, especially so against Liberian women with a foreign partner that have children in the country. So who are the children? If so, so who are the children? When it comes to the law, we are losing in every sense, that person concludes. That year from Flomo Livingstone, thank you, Mr. Wettee. But my question is, will the citizens be educated on dual citizenship? That is another fundamental question right there. Let's hear from, this is Esma Flomo. Yes, Ghana American citizens contribute billions of dollars each year towards their country development. And let's hear from Tipo PK Dempster. For me, I was born in Liberia, so no man or government can take it from me. And the person ended with period. Is Eminent, before we go to the callers, briefly answer those questions that were raised.
All right. On the question of children born in Liberia and the parents are not Liberian, they are called stateless children. You can go ahead and Google children. You find a report from the United Nations that tells you that I think we got about 4,000 stateless children that are born in Liberia. On the question of the law, we did explain to you that our team is currently in Liberia, trying to work along with the members of the Senate to have them concur with the House. So we are working on that aspect of the law to make sure that we have a permanent solution to that. On the issue of Black American, our Constitution says that so long you have a Negro or Negro descent, you can be a citizen of Liberia. You can naturalize. So that's part of the constitutional thing. On the issue of visa, we don't know the speculation that the foreign ministry will come up to say. So that one I can't comment on it. On the issue of restriction, the bill from the House does not have any restriction. But the way these things work out in the legislative process, who knows? The Liberian Senate could say, look, you know what happened? Even though you guys don't have restriction, we want to add restriction on those things. So for now, we don't know if that will happen. So that's I hope I help out to provide answer for these things. Did I miss anything?
Participants.
No, you did not miss anything. But there's this one I have to bring to you, and then we'll go to the callers here. This one is from J. Siaka Kane. The Liberian dual citizenship has been a very long war that some of us were part of in the interest of Liberians everywhere. In fact, it became a financial necessity. Why we commend you, Emeritus Wettee, Councillor Jallo, and others. The Liberian legislature has too many limitations against Liberians abroad. There are provisions in there that prohibit dual Liberian citizenship from acquiring reputable jobs in Liberia. There has been a long-standing mentality of our brothers and sisters back home. I think that was the dual citizen or the referendum that was bringing in those restrictions. I think this particular bill, I don't think there will be restriction whatsoever.
Let me just say that just for the record, the bill from the House does not have any restriction. However, we do not know what the Senate will say. They may put in restriction. We don't know that yet.
Okay.
But for that, there's no restriction.
All right. Now we will go to the course here, and we will take Mr. Cisse Goya. Focus on Liberia educational analyst. It's good to have you. Let's hear you.
I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you. And I want to say hello to my own big brother in studio, Emmanuel, Wettee. First thing I want to say thank you. Hats off to you, man. You are a bulldog when it comes to fighting for dual citizenship. You've been beaten, you've been turned inside out, but you remain strong and you remain consistent. So if there's any good thing in this dual citizenship battle, is your consistency and it's your ability to withstand all of the pressure that comes from all sides. Having said that, I have a few questions for you. With the review of sections 22.1, 2 and point 2 and point 3, does the review grant equity? Because I remember when we worked for the defeated referendum, we were going for equity for our sisters and mothers who could not pass on citizenship, but men could pass on citizenship. So with the review, does the review address the inequity in how we pass on Liberian citizenship? And if not, why don't we then just go for a big bite at the apple and just go for a referendum that creates dual citizenship and deals with the inequity in the way citizenship is passed down? I understand advocacy is a process. I get it. But I don't know if we might have quite a few more bites at this apple, saying how it failed in the last election. If we go to another referendum and don't do our homework and still, God forbid, the next time, I don't think Liberians have the appetite to even consider talking about dual citizenship. Again, I want to say thank you. You are tenacious. You are the kind of leader we need, because when you take an issue, you do fight for it. You do continue to stand, despite all of the critique that comes your way. To use your own terminology. But here is my last point to you. Is what have you learned? What did you learn from the referendum process in a far as bringing the Liberians on the ground along that you are now implementing in this new process? What were some of our failure as advocates for dual citizenship that we're now applying to the new process going forward?
Thank you, Cisse. And Emmanuel, to continue to take your note, let me take the callers, okay? Let's bring in Aliyu Kamara.
Yes, sir. How you guys doing? I'm concerned a little bit. What is this whole bill thing about? Is this thing still about these guys still trying to get some sort of relevance, or they want to be seen as somebody or a group of people who actually achieve anything? As it is, there is no dual citizenship crisis in Liberia. So what is the point of championing this cause? What are they looking to really achieve? The Supreme Court in recent times completely put this thing to rest. But I see some other guys, this guy started this dual citizenship before, which was relevant at the time. The campaign made sense. But I just want to know, what difference does it make when the dual citizenship, the alien and nationality law that was creating children to the Liberians living in the diaspora has been nullified? What is the point of actually trying to prepare another bill again and go through all of this? Isn't this a distraction? Don't you guys know we really got some serious things going on in Liberia right now as we speak? There is a budget that these legislatures may end up passing. Are you guys trying to distract us from the real issue? Do you know that our children as young as 7 are getting raped? You guys are here talking about something that doesn't make any, that has no magnitude, it has no basis, nobody is bothering you. You have to, even if you had an American passport, you can still go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and still get your Liberian passport. So what is the point of this whole campaign? That's what I want to. Thank you.
Right. Aliyu, thank you. But before you go, you said that the Supreme Court notified the Alien Nationality Law, Section 22.1, 22.2. That is not accurate. The judge gave an opinion based on a case. It was not nullified. Thank you. I just wanted to make that
No.
clarification.
See, you're
Let's bring in John Maulo. John, let hear you. You have a minute, sir.
Yeah, hello. Mr. Wettee, how you doing?
I'm doing
On
well.
fun. How are you?
I think, you know, I think we're making this dual citizenship issue more complicated than it is, whether it's on the government side or the House side or even outside from this end, the diaspora. Listen, if the Supreme Court came out and said once a Liberian, always a Liberian, unless somebody can prove it. How can you prove that somebody is not a Liberian if the person didn't go to the court or to the embassy to nullify their citizenship? That's the only way somebody can stop being a Liberian. If you walk to the court or you walk to the embassy and say, I don't want to be a Liberian no more, I send in my papers because I'm going to take another citizenship. Other than that, you cannot prove somebody is not a Liberian. What are you going to do?
Right.
Go to the American embassy or Australian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and say, give me the papers? But it's not, they won't do it. So how else can somebody prove? My thing is this, right? I heard Ms. Kelly today at the Senate, and she was giving these scenarios. Wettee, the whole Constitution, when it was written, it was not written with the intent of a war coming into the country where people will run. So when the war comes, that changes the whole intent of the Constitution. This war caused people to do things that they never thought they would do. So if people have to run and come back, the best thing you can do, say if somebody has an American passport and you want to make them Minister of Foreign Affairs, let them turn over their American passport to the diplomatic security system at the ministry. They give them a receipt. The foreign ministry informed the American embassy that Liberian government is holding his passport and he shouldn't be awarded another one.
Thank
And
you.
you give him the diplomatic passport. When he is fired or when he leaves his job, he come and get his American passport. I don't know what would make this thing more complicated than it. We are Liberians. Unless we went to the embassy or to a court, you can't change that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Maulo. Thank you. I appreciate your call. Let's hear Tane Power. Tane, let's hear you. Phone number ending 0146. Let's hear you.
Hello, my name is J. Joshua K. Power, and
Okay.
I'm calling from Ohio.
Okay.
I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate Mr. Wettee for his hard work on the dual citizenship. It concerns me when I hear people saying what is the essence of this fight. But when we travel out of Liberia, we go to other countries and enjoy the benefits of their dual citizens, but we don't want that to be applied to our own country. It's just unfortunate. More besides, I think Mr. Ali don't understand the opinion of the Supreme Court. So you should interpret it the way you feel it is. You know, so Mr. Wettee, all I can say is people will say what they want to say. People will always have their own opinion and their own view. As much as they are not the ones in this fight, they will not be on the side or not support what you are doing. I just want to encourage you to do what you are doing and believe in what you are doing. And those who believe in your fight will support it. And at the end of the day, history is going to remember you on the good side that Emmanuel Wettee and his team and other people did this for Liberians. And it's going to go a long way. I also want to speak on the people who say, why is there always Emmanuel Wettee? Sometimes there are certain people who are just sent to implement certain things, and until that is done, they are the same. If somebody else comes, I'm not saying they'll be more competent or more dear But maybe at this time, Emmanuel Wettee is just a face. He's not the only person doing it. You got people that are supporting him. But at this time, he's the face. He's the one that the people know. He's the one people want to deal with and want to talk with at this moment. So they're getting the support. Kudos to him that we are passed through the hop. We're waiting for the Senate to see what they can do. You know, what they as the people they want to add something or subtract something. We'll be awake to see what the Senate will do. But as of now, there's a way I want to say thank you and keep on doing what you're doing for Liberian people.
Thank you so very much, Joshua. It's Emmanuel.
Yeah.
It's time for you.
Okay, well, sir, I want to say thanks to Joshua for that opportunity. Like he said, I'm the face, but I did explain on the structure of the All Liberian Conference on Citizenship. Emmanuel Wettee does not make the decision; he just executes a decision. And I want to say thank you, Power, for that complete analysis. In everything, there is a captain. You know, when Michael Jordan was playing for Chicago Bulls, he was the face. When he left from there, another person came. The same thing with Lagos. But I want to tell you that the All Liberian Conference on Citizenship, it's just like the NFL league. You have professionals on the team. I'm right now. I'm talking to you. There are people in Liberia, and Minakuni and the team are working very hard. The last time, Chairman Afrisier and Mr. Frank Carter they were in Liberia. The other time, the other team from Europe or Princeton was in Liberia. So the whole team, there are a lot of people that go there, involved, time in time, and do what they got to do. So I want to say thank you all for now. Like I mentioned, and maybe I'm just the person who can take the booty, so you see my face. But the team is really the voice. I mean, there are a lot of people that are involved. They're doing their own thing, and they're doing everything possible. They're playing their own role, and you will see them as time go by. Let us understand one thing, that we that are advocating for citizenship, we are all Liberians. If we knew the law says that we are Liberians, we're not going to be advocating for this thing. We know the law. It is written. It is there. It has impacted other people. And we are saying that our children should not experience what we're experiencing. Not because someone is not implementing the law. It doesn't mean that the law does not exist. Dr. Elizabeth Day was impacted. In fact, I some time ago, Charles Taylor appointed one minister, either it was in finance or it was in the foreign affairs, and that person had to prove that they are Liberian. So the law exists. We shouldn't come here and say the law does not exist. The law is there, not because the law is not implemented, so it means the law does not exist. The law is there. The question is that how can someone prove that you are a Liberian? When we started this thing in 2012, we all had to say, well, nobody can prove I'm a Liberian. But I tell you right now, I just came from Liberia. To prove that someone's a Liberian, I mean, it's an American citizen, it's very common. If you enter Liberia with your American passport, just like in the United States, in other countries, they take your picture, they scan your passport. And with the decision of the Supreme Court on due process, somebody can ask the commissioner of RIA to say, look, in the country. And that can be counted against you. So not because they're not asking you, it means the law is silent. What if someone decides to really go on with implementing the law? And say you did answer the question on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court noted. I mean, the Supreme Court didn't say they notified the law. The Supreme Court only said they want to give you a due process. So the Supreme Court made it very clear. Even the Chief Justice in fact came up and made it very clear. I want to go to Professor C's question. What we learn? We learn a lot. During the referendum, we all were together. We were in one house until few hours to the time. People, based on the political interest, they separated from us. We all divided. At that time, we had to make the decision. And what we learn now is that to listen to what other people are saying. We really respect that. And let me just say, maybe for the first time, those who oppose the referendum help us to understand the depth of our own advocacy. So we learn, we adapt, and we move on. We learn, we understand your issue, we listen to what you have to say. And you know, just within a year, look how far we have gone. We have a bill from the House because we learned from those people that took our mistakes. We corrected our mistakes and tried to improve, you know, on what the mistake that we have. So my brother, thank you very much. We have learned a lot. We have adapted. We're taking criticism. And look, let me say, if you're advocating and someone criticizes you, it doesn't mean that they don't like you. Maybe they're trying to correct you. Listen to what you have to say. And if you say that in your strategy room, you can say, okay, wait a minute. This person is saying the right thing. How can we adapt? How can we change? How can we improve on what they said? And that's why I keep the advocacy going on. On the issue of whether a woman can pass a citizenship to a child, that's part of the thing hoping that the law will bring on. You know, it is so sad that a Liberian woman will born a child in America. A Ghanaian will do the same thing. That child at birth for a Ghanaian, that child is a Ghanaian. The Liberian child will have to wait for David, we have to wait for Paul, we got to do this and do that before the child becomes a Liberian. It shouldn't happen that way. Once you're born to a Liberian parent, you are a Liberian. That's what we believe in. That's what we believe in. Like I mentioned, everyone have the will, what they see, what they think Liberia should be. This is why we believe. We believe that the diaspora Liberian will build the middle class, will bring job opportunity, will share the resources, both knowledge gain, will play, the other knowledge that we don't have. That's what we believe. I'm not going to tell you that's the silver bullet or the golden bullet. No, but that's what we believe. We believe that diaspora Liberian will build the country, and if you don't have restrictions on them, they will do more than what we're expecting. It's so sad when Lone Star win a game, it's okay. When we play soccer, we want our players to come from everywhere to play. When in the Olympic, we are happy when a Liberian born who's an American citizen run on a Liberian ticket and go for quarterfinal or semifinal, we all are happy. When the Liberian born is on one of these talk show or one of the popular shows and go for semifinal or win, we all are happy. It's the same happiness that we believe that person has a Liberian DNA. We are talking about that it should be applied when they go back home. Once a Liberian, always a Liberian.
And if I may add to you, when a non-Liberian is elected in the United States as a senator, as a representative, as a city mayor, we all celebrate.
Yes.
We know Liberians who have been elected in the United States. Some of them serving on city council. We stay eat palm butter together. We know they are Liberians. Yes. We celebrate them. We feel that they are our pride because they are representing us. They are telling all of nationals in the world that people from Liberia are smart people too. They have senses like you. We celebrate that. But then let's bring it to our country and say, no, what? You've been in America, you're not one of us. That will come to our end. Folks in cyberspace, Emmanuel Wettee is the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. He and his team have been on this advocacy since 2012. And since they started, they had multiple options. They wanted executive order, they wanted referendum, they wanted a bill, they wanted repeal of the alien nationality law. And if I may add to him, maybe we can get a brand new constitution that will settle all of this. So it's eminent. It's good to have you. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, then you can give your closing statement. And in your closing statement, give the most recent update on the bill where we are, and also restate the update on the directive that came from the Justice Minister. We'll take that very short break. When we come back, you will be making that closing statement. Folks, the closing statement will summarize everything, so don't go anywhere. We'll just take a few seconds. All right, we are back with you, His Eminence. So, specifically as possible, where we are now with the dual citizenship in terms of the bill and the directive from the Justice Ministry. Where are we to conclude?
To conclude, where are we right now? We are waiting for the new regulations. Yeah, that's the word. Regulation or a proclamation. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No,
okay.
A proclamation from the foreign minister to list down all of the new requirements based on the instructions from the Justice Minister, how the various embassy will issue the visa to Liberian.
No passport.
Yeah,
passport.
Thank you. Passport to Liberian have a dual nationality. So that's what we are right now. We are waiting for the foreign ministry to do a proclamation or come out a new regulation how they're going to implement that the particular instruction from the Supreme Court or from the Justice Minister. So that's where we are on that part. On the issue of the bill, our team headed by Emmanuel Wettee, Comfort Atoka, Reverend Sherman, and others are in Liberia right now as we speak, lobbying the Liberian Senate to concur with the House. Today, they met with the President pro tem. The other time, they met with other senators and everybody. So that's where we are. Our team is currently in Liberia with the support of the partners. They are in Liberia campaigning to asking the Liberian Senate to concur with the House. So that's the update on those two. Before we go, again, I want to say thank to this platform. I want to say thank to the Liberian people. Thank to President Weah for his support for dual citizenship. Thanks to all the members of the House and the Senate. Thanks to Councilor Ajiba Bona and Cyril Cooper and all the lawyers, all the team of legal mind that
folks, bear with us there. It seems to be there's a little glitch.
And everybody out there that support dual citizenship. If I don't call your name, just know you're in my heart, and the Liberian people know you. So thank you all to everybody, the advocates, the champions, the sponsors, and everybody, the foot soldier. And let us pray for our team in Liberia for the kind of job they are doing, and may God bless us. Advocacy is not an event; it's a process. We are going to try. Our goal for dual citizenship will continue until the last person can be out of here. May God bless you all. I want to say thank you all for all your support and everything that you've been doing for us. Thank to all the partners. Let me not forget the partners are the one that keeping me up. I carry on the director and the members of the leadership team. Thank you all. God bless everybody. And let us hope that as we celebrate 2,000 years, can you imagine? It's been 2,000 years since the first Black one in Liberia. We are celebrating 2,000 years. We are willing to give citizenship to African Americans.
2,000 or 200?
I'm sorry, 200 years. I'm sorry, 200 years. 200 years of celebration. In this thing, we are willing to give citizenship to African Americans, but we are not willing to give Tape a citizenship. Can you imagine?
Thank you. Thank you. His Eminent Wettee is the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Emmanuel is always here to advocate for this cause, dual citizenship for diaspora Liberians and also African Americans as well. We want to say thank you for always honoring our invitation, and even calling upon us that I have something to talk about. You guys need to bring me in. This is what we have coming your way Wednesday. Focus on Liberia will be interviewing Anita Lerepiso. She will be live here at Focus on Liberia with my man, Dennis Baku Kenguja. This is a story that you do not want to miss. We hear about the Zogo crisis in Liberia. Anita is a former Zogo who now is a gospel music minister. She sings amazingly. So she will be telling her story live in the ghetto, her transition, current situation, and her future plan. This is an amazing story. Then on our program, Tough Talking Thursday with Dennis Jar, the chairperson of CDC USA will be here with our outstanding panda on our program, Tough Talking Thursday with Dennis Baku Kenjuja. The topic, the CDC president we are in his 2023 re-election bid. Wilma Corning, chief political analyst, Focus on Liberia, will be seated. Carl Famula, Focus on Liberia, chief public policy analyst, will be here, and also Mr. Mohammed Sharif, Focus on Liberia, political analyst, will be here with Constant. And on Saturday, in an exclusive with me, Anthony C., Mr. George Kanatule is an unapologetic member of the opposition Liberty Party. I believe the Liberty Party is the straw. He's saying, I'm a liar, and he will come to make the case, and I will hold him down to asking the questions. You don't want to miss it. This one will be political from start to middle to end. It will be a firework, and it will be educational as well. You do not want to miss this show. Again, it's eminent. This is how we will come to the end of yet another broadcast here at Focus on Liberia. Again, we want to say thank you, and a very big thank you to our audience who always follow us here as we try to educate, elevate, and promote all things Mama Liberia. And because we are Liberians, we always end with the song, we are all Liberians. Even if you don't believe that the dual citizenship fight is necessary, you are still a Liberian. Thank you, and bye-bye from us.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. USA all we want. Liberia, oh. USA all we want. Liberia, Liberia. Oh,